of the Holy Spirit. And this is where we get this beautiful passage about the fruit of the Spirit. And it's really important, I think, to note that Paul does not say fruits. The word is not plural. It's not an invitation to pick one and say, oh, I've got that one. The invitation is rather, this is what it means to live the life of the Spirit, that all of these together become normative guides for us as Christians. So goodness, kindness, gentleness, self-control, all of these things become guideposts for the way that we live our life, and they are opposed to what Paul says are the works of the flesh, and it should probably be a capital F. I don't think Paul means to say that all matter is bad. This is like at the end of Ephesians where Paul talks about fighting against powers and principalities. This is a power and principality. This is a flesh with a capital F, in that these are the things that are opposed to the life of God and that cause us to sin. And if you look, he's fairly specific. I almost said pacific. He's fairly specific. Fornication, impurity, licentiousness, idolatry, sorcery, enmity, strife, jealousy, anger, quarrels, dissensions, factions, envy, drunkenness, carousing, and things like these. So it's not just all flesh is bad, but these specific things draw us away from the life of God, and they also draw us away from the life of the community. Each one of these things, in some form or fashion, puts us in opposition to another human being or to a large group of human beings. And so those things are to be abandoned, and it is the things that bring us together under the life of the Spirit that are to be embraced. Because, as he says in the beginning of chapter 6, the whole goal of this enterprise is for us to bear one another's burdens, to be together as a community, to live united by the power of the Holy Spirit, and to not be devouring each other with these nitpicky arguments about how to follow the law and who needs to be circumcised and who doesn't and all of that. And then he concludes with what we saw, this signature of writing large letters in his own hand, and then sort of adjures them one more time to follow his own example and to put their faith in Jesus Christ. And that is the book of Galatians.
Wow. You did 3 chapters in about 15 minutes?
Yeah.
We do about 3 verses in an hour.
One last concluding thought that I want to just throw out there really quickly, and I need to run because I'm on the chancel this morning. But I think one of the most important things for us to take away from the book of Galatians is the way in which Paul reorients the life of faith. So one of the most common ways that we talk about being, well, I don't know if it's the most common. A common way that we talk about being Christians is being people of the book. We place a lot of value on the Bible, and many of you maybe grew up in traditions that place too much value on the Bible, that, the Bible says it, that settles it, I believe it, kind of a tradition. But what Paul actually says is that we are not first and foremost people of the book. We are first and foremost the people of Jesus Christ, and it is the example of Jesus and the power of the Holy Spirit experienced in the life of a community that is the normative practice for our faith. Now, we happen to live 2,000 years removed from that, and this book does provide a lot of great examples of how that gets worked out, and therefore becomes a part of our own normative practice as people of faith. But primarily, it is about the power of the risen Jesus expressed through the Holy Spirit in the life of the community that shapes how we live and how we take care of one another. And I think that's one of the most important things that Galatians has to say to the church.
Amen. Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron.
For being such a great class. And I will be back at some point in the future. I don't know when, but
We look forward to it. Leave your name tag and we'll get it.
all right, thanks all.
Okay.
Thank you so much.